Hey everyone, welcome to my, I think it's the 6th video in this series for Inktober. Now I'm on to another sketch, which was also from a reference picture, and it is actually one of my favorite in this whole series. I don't know, I like the pose, I like the inking, I like the face, I like the style of the hair and this kind of stuff. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And this one I'm using dark indigo as my color, if you can call that a color. It's kind of a neutral, but I really like it. This one was from imagination, except for the hair, which I used a reference picture. And the same process. That's why I didn't mind going super fast on this video, because it's always the same thing, the same process. Ink washes, and then line work, and then color. And this one, the color is going to be orange. And I'm thinking about doing a poster where I could put them all together. And if I do that, it will be in one of my shop either. There we go. And this one, it's the first time ever that I've managed to burn my paper. I probably stayed a little bit too long in the same spot, and I burned the paper. And it didn't go through completely, but you can see a little bit of yellowish tone on the side of the face, which I managed to hide with the shading, most of it anyway. And this one was also from a reference picture for the face and the hair, but I don't really like, it's not my favorite. The last 7 days of Inktober, and I'm going for a different series for this one. I'm going for a Halloween kind of theme, and my first, well, you'll have to see. I'm not gonna say just now what I'm drawing. It's a drawing I'm pretty happy with. I was using a reference for the pose, and also some inspiration for the dresses and the style, I would say. The style of the dresses, and this is when it starts coming together, and you can start to have an idea of who I am drawing. It's inspired by mythology and by horror. And oh, look, all my previous Inktober, sorry, I should have removed that, and some paintings. I was streaming obviously on that day, and I was showing people what I'd been working on. So I don't know if you can tell now, but this character is Medusa. She's, oh, sorry about the noise in the background. I'm hoping you can't hear too much about that. So she's a character who will turn you into stone if you gaze into her eyes. So she will have a very, very strong gaze, and very angry looking woman. She's in mythology, she was supposed to be beautiful. Recently, like 19th century, people have been depicting her as a monster, kind of not really pretty, not really beautiful. So I wanted her to be pretty. I think it's quite important to go back to how pretty she was. That's the painting I was working on. And here I've been dragging some ink, and I'm gonna do some shading. So I like to do my ink washes first, and then do the line art and do the shading and more Inktober sketches. And now the final touch on this sketch will be a bit of gold ink, and I'm so happy I decided to go for gold ink on all of those. Anyway, we move on to the next day. This video will have most of my Inktober's sketches, but the last 3, I think. So here I was trying to draw a face. Apparently I couldn't draw a face that day, so sometimes it's, you know, it's best to try it out on the side and take it from there. And can you guess what character I'm drawing that day, inspired by Halloween still. So for this second day in this series, I'm drawing a succubus, and you can see me using some tracing paper when I want things to look fairly even, like the horns and the ears, because they're quite prominent. I want them to be placed in the same spot, so I use tracing paper for that. It's a bit like using Photoshop in a way, to move things around. Now I'm doing my ink washes, and I'm starting on the line art. I'm still using my small paintbrush. I'm not completely happy about the way I've done this goal, but at the same time this one is pretty much sold. Someone has said they were interested in buying it, so it will be set aside until they confirm. It might be a few weeks before they confirm, but that's fine. So now I'm adding a pentagram, because I felt she needed some kind of jewelry around her neck. And that was pretty much it for this one. As you can see, I added the ground. Now we're on to the third day in this Halloween series, and here I'm just doing something that I really enjoy, which is drawing a pretty lady. And this one was actually quite challenging to get the pose right. I wanted her to be sitting on a broom, but all the reference I got of which she's sitting on a broom looked like they were kind of levitating over the broom. It wasn't really like they were actually sitting on it, so I'm hoping that I managed to get that right in this sketch. I'm quite happy with how it looks. And yeah, I really enjoyed how I did the hair on this one. I think it looks pretty. It's the different way. I don't usually do the hair that way, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was a bit of a gamble, and I'm glad I did it. And more gold. Gold is definitely making the whole series so much better. The added bonus is that this gold is actually quite copper, so it's quite orange. So it's working quite well for a Halloween one. And now we're on to day 4 of the Halloween series, and I'm wondering if that's the last one in the series that you'll see today. I'm not sure. And for this one, I decided to draw a necromancer. Now, when I did a bit of a search on a necromancer with this keyword, I was mostly finding women, and I really wanted to draw a man, so I started by looking a pose for a man that I liked, and then I started designing. That's really a character design, this one. So I did the staff with the skull, and the arm, and the leather shoulder pads, whatever they're called. And I wanted his face to be quite fierce, and tattoos, and the belt with various things that a necromancer could use, and the big piercing in his ears, and you can see he's got some poison, I think it's poison, bottles in his belt, and now a tattoo of a skull with spider legs. And now what I knew I wanted to do from the very beginning is add a lot of darkness around his hands and eye, to make it look like he was kind of corrupted. And I really like how that turned out. And now I'm going ahead and adding some gold. It was really fun to come up with this design. And I think the last thing I did was adding more white to his eyes. Sorry, I can't talk. Anyway, that's all for this one. Oh, by the way, the necromancer has sold too. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon with the end of Inktober. Bye bye everyone.